Morning, all the delegates and the other panelists present in the India TV Summit. At the outset, let me thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to present my views on this summit. I'm former Deputy Director General Tuberculosis from Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. I'll be speaking on the impact of COVID-19 on TB services and what is the way forward. Next slide, please. The slide, next slide, please. So, just to give you a background, till now about 1,69,000 active cases have been reported of COVID-19, of which 10 lakh cases have recovered, and there have been about 1.5 lakh deaths till the 1st of March 2021. The commonality between TB and COVID is that both have similar symptoms of cough, fever, difficulty in breathing. Although the major difference between the two is TB is a chronic disease, it means it has a long incubation period between exposure and symptom, whereas the COVID has a short duration between exposure and the first symptom. Both of them primarily attack lungs, so both have the potential to attack any other part of the body. Both are spread mainly by close contact as well as airborne transmission. Co-infection of TB and COVID-19 has the potential to cause severe symptoms and poorer outcomes. However, there are also, we have seen some opportunity having had COVID, that the multi-platform diagnostic technologies available under the program could be used for COVID, and we did use those technologies for COVID. Infection and prevention control measures for TB, we did use them for COVID, and we have also strengthened our protocols for management of respiratory disease. Next, please. So what did COVID do to health services? Initially, a huge setback to the entire health services, not only TB, but all forms of health services. And that was intended also at that point of time. That is why lockdown was announced. So closure of health facilities, including private setups. The movement of people was affected due to lockdown. Human resources and infrastructure was diverted for COVID response. That was also an intention. And in fact, TV program offered its services for the COVID response. We did see heightened stigma towards people showing COVID and TB symptoms. And we saw a record dip in TB notification in the month of April 2020. Overall, in 2019, we saw 25% or a fourth of decrease in TB notification. Next, please. Then we quickly mounted a rapid response plan to come back to normalcy and mitigate the effect of COVID-19. So on case finding, we introduced a concept of comprehensive lung health. We also replaced spear microscopy with more sensitive and specific rapid molecular tests. We did a special screening in urban slums and for migrants. We started triaging in the outpatient departments and isolation facilities, and started engaging private sector more vigorously and enthusiastically. With respect to patient support services, we offered them a single window service delivery. The cash benefits were transferred directly to their bank accounts. We engaged with community to reduce stigma and improve their health-seeking behavior, and home sample collection and delivery of drugs. Within the health system, a lot of health system strengthening measures were taken by the ministry, so a lot of administrative support. We also started now what is known as a subnational disease certification, monitoring on a real-time basis through our NextShare app, and address stigma due to COVID, and a lot of information and education campaigns were used. We also advised how to use personal protective equipment in a more rational manner. Next, please. We also took out guidance that all TB patients be screened for COVID. or influenza-like illness and severe acute respiratory illness also be screened for TB. In 2020, we could actually screen a fourth of TB patients for COVID-19. The co-infection rate, fortunately, are low in TB and COVID. They are about 0.9%. So quite manageable, and we didn't see much impact on the TB patients per se. Impact of COVID on the TB patients per se. Next, please. A few of the strategies which we use for revival of NTP services, show the next slide, please, were effective sample collection and transportation at the doorstep. Special strategies for specific population, which is urban slums. We used mobile vans, doorstep screening, migrant mapping, and camp-based approach. We also decentralized our GeneXpert and TrueNet for rapid molecular diagnostics. We did intensive case finding in health facilities, screened for TB in priority OPDs, which is chest, dialysis setups, HIV care settings, pediatrics, non-communicable diseases, and cancer setups. We also launched an active case finding campaign throughout the country, and also put more stress on contact screening should you have an index case. We also leveraged community-based assessment checklist of the health and wellness centers to find more and more TB cases. When they screen people for non-communicable diseases, they are also screened for TB. Next, please. The other strategies are what are already there in the program, which is schedule H1 notification, mandatory notification of TB, directive through local administration, personalized outreach through joint efforts of elimination of tuberculosis. We also introduced e-pharmacy, doorstep sample collection, and contact through a call center called Nexus Alpha. Next, please. The opportunities that emerged in this dual pandemic was for TB program was wearing of mask and social distancing measures is expected to help in reducing TB transmission as well. We hypothesize about cutting TB transmission to the extent of about 20%. Hand washing and other self-care measures do help in reducing any other diseases. Social distancing was observed even in local public transports, and that will also help in controlling the spread of all airborne transmissible infections, including TB. Next, please. We did look at transmission dynamics and advise the public accordingly. Next, please. And we also reimagined how service delivery now could be adopted. So we adopted a hub and spoke model for teleconsultation. We uses integrated government online training platform for training, and now the government is establishing dedicated infectious diseases hospitals with isolation wards in each district, which will go a long way in reducing the transmission of airborne transmissible diseases. Next, please. Another is expand lab capacity to diagnose diseases. So during COVID times, we could add additional 2,500 multi-platform technologies which can detect both TB and COVID. This has helped us to now say that we can now do away with sphere microscopy and move directly to rapid molecular diagnostics. A lot of support to COVID-19 and TB research by many Indian institutions, including Indian Council of Medical Research and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Next, please. I've already alluded what we did in health system strengthening was division of ventilators throughout the country, and 95 masks, division of rapid RT-PCR kits. The TrueNet and CVNets have been expanded exponentially in our country, and they are now being truly used as multi-platform technologies. So facilities which were available under the TB program came in very handy to mount a rapid response for COVID-19. In fact, now 50% of the laboratory capacity of COVID-19 is met through the TB program. Next, please. Having said that, we are not losing our focus on TB. So, as our Honorable Health Minister stated, that elimination of TB remains a common priority despite the pandemic. And now we are again imagining that 2021 will be a year where we will build a lot of campaign called Jan Andolan around TB at par with what we observed for COVID. Government of India did support COVID response with an additional 15,000 crore package, which was also largely handled by officers and consultants of the TB division. Next, please. So, thank you for your attention. I'll remain available for your comments and questions and suggestions. Thank you.